Hello. Hi. It's me again. I just wanted to share with you how today went. I definitely had one of those days where I felt like I didn't do enough. But after taking some time reflecting upon what has been done, I've realized that I've been guilty of what we call the overthinker. Listen, I was so down about the fact that I didn't necessarily keep up with my initial schedule. I had a lot of tasks that were important, but as the time went by, I actually invested myself on certain tasks that were not on the most vital tasks and vital aspects of my life, but I took some deep interest and deep focus, and if I'm being honest, I wanted to do it well because I wanted to uh, make something special for the birthday of one of my family members, and I ended up actually writing a song, recording the song, and actually trying to scrap by a cute personal website, um, and I threw in some videos and photos I picked up along the way just to make that birthday present. It was a digital present, but I was very intentional in every details. In every detail, I actually took the instrumental of um, the favorite song. I actually sat down and tried to really think about those times where that person would need to be uplifted and feel good about life in general and the person itself, right? So I just wondered what, with everything that I know about that person, what can I actually express that are actually very positive and true about that person, how amazing that person is. So I got to the writing process, and it was not easy. And mind you, initially I was just supposed to like take an hour to get that done, but I ended up taking, I kid you not, 5 hours. I feel like, because I was just supposed to make a little bit of a compilation of maybe some, I don't know, like, kind of real, kind of very Instagram kind of recap that some people tend to do. Some people just throw in a CapCut or just no, they don't necessarily take too much time on the montage. Or for those who have an iPhone, you actually see that option of the memories option. So it's quite easy to actually collect enough media about somebody and basically being able to write a beautiful message, heartfelt message about what you think about that person, and send them the actual reel, the actual video, the actual memory, right? It could have been simple, but your girl didn't stop there and ended up literally going. I was willing to change the music of the memories reel. Then I didn't like the music so much, and I was trying to literally, I was just figuring things out. I started with a plan. I ended up doing nothing of the plan, and that got me to the point where it's 2 a.m. again. And I'm trying to catch up of the rest of my schedule, but I kid you not, I technically did very productive stuff. I got class. I made an amazing present. I'm really proud of the results. There are definitely some room for improvement, but I'm glad I just sent it off because I felt like just the fact that you're actually making a song about somebody, recording it. I think that's the sentiment that is very important, not so much of the fact that it's not Spotify quality. But I actually did my best, went on BandLab, did my best with what I had. And that made me think of the fact that I need to improve and take up a vocal lessons. But I was very, very pleased, very happy, because the person was very touched, and they also complimented me on my singing. So I was like, okay, it was definitely not perfect, but I'm not making that person's ears bleed basically. And I actually liked some parts of the song, in which I thought I sung really well. So all that to tell you, you might be thinking, why is she telling me all this? I'm literally giving you the most positive side and experience of a task that I thought I I wasted too much time on. And you see, everything is about perspective. If I didn't take that time to breathe, pray, and literally look at my day and look at the reason why I actually went out went on to spend my entire day, let's be real, my entire day on that birthday present, it's because that person means a lot to me. That's because I want to literally give a present, a gift that is the best of what I can do today. Because this is the way for me to express my love to that person. So it's just a birthday, but it's not just a birthday if I have something to express, if I want it to be good, if I want to do what I can to down to my very best, up to my very best. And why am I telling you all of this? Because you can use that example with everything. Every single time you try to beat yourself up about something that you might have done wrong, or wasted time, like quote unquote wasting time upon on it, I would beg you to I would actually I would tell you to think over it again. Ask yourself the good questions. Why did I feel the need to spend so much time on that task? Maybe it was really useless. Maybe you really did not need to take that much time for that particular task. Maybe there were more important stuff to do after, right? That can happen. But there are some days, like this day, where you actually did the right thing. It was just not on the it was not on your schedule. So that could be a lesson. Sometimes you know something about you. Hey, for this particular kind of occasions, for this particular kind of person, the closeness in my life, yeah, I would not take 30 minutes to an hour for if I had to literally sit down and make something artistic and personal for them. I need to think it over, you know? At least I know how to allocate time for particular tasks. And this is also part of the journey of getting to know yourself and being sure that you work with yourself and not against yourself. So, yeah, so that was the lesson of today. Don't beat yourself up because you didn't get to do quote unquote enough. Sometimes what you did was just the thing you were supposed to do. And on top of that, I still had time to go do the groceries, before the mall, before the actual shop closed down. I actually had time to meditate the word. Yes, I did that quite late, but I did it. I still ate. I didn't do the full housework I wanted to do. I didn't even start to begin with. I'm not gonna lie. But instead of blaming myself, I'm just gonna have to actually allocate some more time tomorrow. So there were solutions. I actually had to cancel out on other plans. Yes, I'm not particularly happy or thrilled about it, but I know it was necessary. It was another necessity. That birthday person was actually today. I didn't think about doing I didn't think I would be doing a song, but I ended up doing it. I don't regret it today. I'll know better for the next time, but I don't blame myself. And on top of that, I was just thinking to myself how I wanted to take time during the day because I scheduled my Bible meditation during the day. I wanted that to be during the day and not at midnight where I'm supposed to be sleeping. And I was like, even when I was reading some verses, I felt like I needed to do more and more and more to kind of like, I don't know, like it's I was punishing myself, and this is where I started to sit down and speak to God. I was like, there's something wrong here. Why am I feeling this way? And this is to actually help some of you, my girlies and my boys, who are unfortunately like me sometimes, overthink everything. If you overthink stuff, here is a sound advice. Just believe me when I tell you it's not that deep. It's not that deep. You can just, like, the best thing you can do is sit down and say out loud, hey, today I didn't do as well as I wanted because I did this. Okay, stay factual. Instead of beating yourself up and trying to do everything before you even get to sleep, and now the next morning I already arised, but you didn't even get to have a fully repaired sleep. Instead of doing something that crazy, just make sure that you sit down and you treat today as a lesson and you actually set up an actionable plan. Okay, I didn't do that today. Okay, so that means that tomorrow I have to organize myself in a certain way because I can't do everything. I have other priorities. This is your quote unquote punishment in the say. It's not because you will put yourself under a lot of pressure to make up for the time you lost or make up for the task you didn't tick off. There is no point doing that. What you can only do is say, hey, what do I really want to do? What do I really need right now today? I definitely can't do the housework. It's way too late for that. But I actually feel the need to sit and keep a trace of that day, of my mindset and my train of thoughts, of how I will not blame myself for the fact that I didn't tick off 100% of my schedule. And instead, I'm going to say, hey, I'm really proud that out of literally 10 tasks that you actually set out to do, you managed to actually do 6 of them, 6 very huge tasks. The others were really unrealistic to begin with. So I'm really proud of myself, and I actually exhort you. I actually want you to have that kind of process in your own mind for stuff that concern you too. It could be the progress on a school project. It could be um, you organizing, for example, let's say it's wedding season and I'm a bridesmaid, for example. Let's say you're a bride, you are a groom, and right now you feel guilty because there are so many things to do and you still didn't get everything that you wanted to do on that particular day because the wedding is literally tomorrow, let's say. You feel like you have a month left and you feel like you're still late upon everything and you can't stop but blaming yourself because you still can't get everything you want done. Well, instead of stressing yourself out on the things you didn't manage to do today, congratulate you for the things you actually managed to do. Because listen, sometimes we need to give ourselves a lot more credit. Okay? It's not easy being us sometimes. It's not easy. Like, life is lifing, adult is adulting, teenager-ing is teenager-ing. Like, listen, life is not easy, and we all trying our best in our own way, with our own limitations, with our own mindset. And you do you, okay? You do what you can, and everything that you know can be improved, then you set it on an actionable plan and you give yourself a bite-sized, actionable, reasonable, that's why I'm insisting on that, reasonable, gradual improvement path that you will actually set from tomorrow, from the next day. But in the meantime, drink your water, and sleep. It's not that deep, okay? So this is what I wanted to share with you. I also wanted to read a passage that um, I got to meditate on, and unfortunately, I forgot to translate it in English. So I don't know how I will translate it in English. I have it in French. So yeah, if anything, for my English speaker, get your Bible and go up to Isaiah 55, verse 8 to 11. But in French, it reads, car mes pensées ne sont pas vos pensées, et vos voix ne sont pas mes voix, dit l'Éternel. Autant les cieux sont élevés au-dessus de la terre, autant mes voix sont élevées au-dessus de vos voix, et mes pensées au-dessus de vos pensées. Comme la pluie et la neige descendent des cieux, ils n'y retournent pas sans avoir arrosé, fécondé la terre et fait germer les plantes, sans avoir donné de la semence au semeur et du pain à celui qui le mange. Ainsi est-il de ma parole qui sort de ma bouche. Elle ne retourne point à moi sans effet, sans avoir exécuté ma volonté et accompli mes desseins. Amen. So this passage, so I remind you guys for my English speakers, Isaiah 55 verse 8 to 11. Listen, and in French it's actually the Louis II, la version Louis II 1910. So yeah, maybe in English I would recommend the NIV, the NLT is New Living Translation, and NIV. I switch between the two, NLT and NIV anyway, for the English version. I try to stand with NIV. Okay, so I just wanted to finish that video with that particular verse because that is the passage of the Bible today that helped me have that positive mindset before filming. Because I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I was not feeling right. I was not feeling well, and I was pretty down. So I'm basically sharing that with you in real time so that you can actually see what it feels like to just be rational, to be accountable, take accountability for your actions while being kind to your mind, kind to yourself, and actually being conducive to progress, So it is as simple as that, just taking the right time. And I actually nourished my mind and myself with something positive. Hey, God doesn't think I failed him, okay? God doesn't feel like I didn't do enough. This is what I think. He never said that. I was sincere in taking that time to meditate the word. I was sincere on. So basically, in my church, we have tests. Like we have the opportunity to basically train ourselves and meditate the Bible even further. And sometimes, sometimes during the month, we actually have the opportunity to basically take upon like biblical tests, and it helps. It really helps stay connected with the Word and actually see what's actually left. So it's pretty good initiative. It's something that I definitely see the difference since I actually challenged myself to actually take those tests and do them well. And I want to tell you guys that even if for example, for the test, we always have an interval of a week, and there were 10 questions, right? And for those 10 questions, I already revised about like 3 questions out of it. And I just read them. I just read, looked up the answers, and tried to tell myself, hey, maybe I should look up this chapter. And instead of beating myself up because I didn't necessarily have the energy to go all through the chapters and read them today, I was like, okay, I'm actually glad I got to just read out the questions and remind myself of those kind of verses and actually meditate and reflect upon what that actually means in my life. That actually helped me get to the passage of that I just wrote to you, just to remind myself that hey, God's actually very happy that I just did my best today, and that is enough, right? And to back up this thought, I actually looked at in the Bible, because it's actually God's word, God's mind. So that's confirmed. So logically, factually, God literally thinks that way. His thoughts are not mine. So I'm okay. So if I think I didn't do enough, well, there are high chances, according to the Bible, that God doesn't think I have to stress about that. God is actually very happy and glad that I took some time to nourish my spirit with His word. That's it. Okay? So do the same, okay? Be kind to yourself. Try to pep talk a little bit. And because we're rational beings, we're emotional beings, we're not gonna lie, but we are also very, it helps to back up with actual facts. So try to look at the very factual benefits and right and good side of what you did, to help you not fall into positivism and actually get downer in your mood swing, okay? So that's what I wanted to share with you. And I'm actually going to post 28 lessons I've actually learned me entering my 20th birthday. So I'm going to shoot that tomorrow. And well, we're actually already tomorrow if I'm referring to the time right now. Yeah, I'm going to sleep before 3:30. Oh, you guys must be thinking, why is she sleeping always so late? I'm still figuring things out, okay? There are some days it's very difficult for me to actually sleep very, very, very early. But I'm a huge sleeper, so that's actually very contradictory. But hey, we're figuring things out. So yeah, I'm going to shoot that for you guys tomorrow. I hope you will enjoy it. And if you've got any suggestions, sorry, it's actually very late. If you've got any suggestion, okay, I just give up. Suggestion of videos you want to see and topics you want me to cover, don't hesitate to put them down below. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment if you feel like it. It can actually help the channel. But if you don't want to do it, please don't feel guilty about it. It's okay. Bye bye. Good night. Have a nice night. Take care of yourself. Drink your water. Eat your vegetables. And tell one of your loved ones you love them. Bye bye.